Is this figure the best version of Optimus Primal? No. Because it's not Optimus Primal, it's your mom. This is the Cang Toys Thorilla and Rusirius. Here's the front, side, bottom side, other side, and the top. This is Thorilla, and this is Rusirius. Both of these were sent to me by the Show Z store, link in the description below. These are original characters, but they are a part of the Cang Toys Predaking, which is a third-party Transformers combiner figure with their take on the original characters as well as adding in some new characters like these. Personally, I think both of these characters look great. In addition to the transformation, both of these have a combiner mode, so stick around until the end so you can get an idea of how big their Thunderking will be. Both of these figures have a very mech style design to them. They feel like mech versions of Transformers. Both characters come with cards that have stats on the back and instruction booklet. We're gonna start by taking a look at Thorilla first, and this one's got a pretty decent size to it. Here it is next to my Waging Optimus Prime, and here it is next to Coronation Starscream, and here he is topping Coronation Starscream. As stated before, this is an original character. Now the figure itself looks absolutely amazing. It's got a lot of nice paintwork on there and a lot of great molded detail. From all angles, this figure looks great, and even all around the legs. And it is a very thick boy. Now these decals do look nice, but it is kind of weird for a Transformers figure to have these mech style decals on it. But I am impressed with how they got some tiny text on there. But I feel like complaining about the decals is kind of a nitpick when the rest of the figure is so amazing. And it is much better than Rusirius, but we'll get to that later. Now this figure is not Optimus Primal.
You are the false monkey.
Yeah.
But it does seem like it takes some inspiration from him. Someone commented it as Nemesis Primal, and I feel like that's very accurate. I do feel like it has this loose Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal look to it. I do hope some people agree with me, otherwise I'm really gonna seem like an idiot. Now the figure has a lot of light piping, and that's because of the back of his head right here. And I don't really like how it's a big huge red piece of plastic, because it looks kind of cheap. Now here's a look at the back right here, and this back part does become the chest in gorilla mode. Now the figure does have some metal parts, the elbow joints right here, the knee joints, and on the feet, but the rest of the figure is made of a very sturdy plastic. It's great to know that toys will live out longer than me. This figure does also come with some accessories. He comes with a Guy Mean A blaster, looks the same on both sides. It also comes with these things, which the instructions say to put on right here, but it doesn't really say what they're for exactly. It could be for war crimes, I don't know. It also comes with these two mechanical boxing glove type things, and I do believe they have a use when the whole combiner comes out. He also comes with a hammer, and these two pieces that are meant to go on the hammer. For these, take this out, then connect the two, then you put it on like this. Make sure this tabs into place right here. Same here. There is his massive hammer. Now once you have those on, take this off, put it here, and take this one off and put it here. And you can put these on the other side here if you are so inclined. I'm not inclined. Now this hammer here honestly looks really great. It's got some nice red and golds. The tip also looks great. Now he can hold the weapons in his hands. He has tabs in both hands, but they kind of suck and don't really help with the hammer. He has slots on one side of his hammer, and on the other side he has another slot. But be careful, otherwise you'll have this happen, because these tabs suck. It really is difficult to get it to tab in its hand. I was able to tab it on the bottom side of the handle though, but it's still really not the best. It's a really nice accessory, and I wish it could hold it well. And these are, I mean, they're pretty cool too, I guess. For this, you just peg them on the arms. And these pieces can come out as well. The weapon itself also has some nice molded detail on there. It's got a very mechanical look to it, but if you do want him to hold it, you'll have to take these pieces off, otherwise he'll get in the way. But once you do that, you can slide this down and close his fingers, and he's able to hold this one a bit better than the hammer. Not by much though. Now for articulation, the head can move up and down. You can spin his head all the way around. You can tilt it. These shoulder pads can move up and down. This can also move. The arms can spin all the way around. This right here can turn all the way. This can also spin around. This can move up, and these little blasters can move. The hand can spin all the way around, and each of the fingers do have individual articulation. The hand can also move like this. The elbows can bend in quite a bit. The arms can go out all the way up like that. Move this back, and the waist can rotate all the way around. Be a little cautious when rotating this thing because it looks like I did get some marks over there. These skirt flaps can move. Now this is something really interesting on the figure. So the legs are on a ratchet joint, and I can really only get them to go about this high, but if you remove this, that takes away the ratchet joint and you can freely move it up. You can also move his leg up like that, and with this removed, the leg can go up even more. His thigh can spin around. The knee can bend about this much. His toes can move, and oh, I'm bleeding from this figure. I guess that's why this is an adult collector's item. The feet can rotate a little bit, and you can pull it out like that too. Now for Harambe mode. First you want to untab these, open his chest, turn his head around, flip it in, close that back up, untap his arm, open this, make sure his hand is in a good fist. Now open this right here. It can be a little tough, Make sure his hand is like this, then you can bring it in. Make sure to bring this in, bring the gorilla hand down and then close this in, then you can bring this down. Then do the other side off camera to hide the fact that you were having trouble with it. Now back on the shoulder areas for the arms. And these two pegs right here go into these two holes right there. Peg that, bring this shield hero-like looking thing up, rotate his waist around, now bring this down, bring his arms up, and bring them down like that. Then you can rotate this piece around, rotate those hands, open this, turn the leg around, and you want to get this in here. Bend the leg like this, and then get that in there. Adjust the legs so they're in there like that. It says to tab it in, but honestly you don't have to do that. And then you can close this. And these are supposed to come out and down like that. Bend his legs, pull this out, take out his head, turn it around, and make sure these aren't in the way. And then close it in. Make sure these little notch areas line up. And then you can put it in, set the head in, and then you can tab these into place. And there you have his gorilla form. And the gorilla mode also looks great here. It kind of feels like holding a baby, except it would be an ugly baby. Unfortunately, you can't really straighten out his legs, so he's going to be in a more hunched up position like a gorilla would be. Now it shows you can put the weapon on there in this picture, but the instructions don't say how to do that. I wasn't really able to find a spot on this. Also, this video is taking a long time to film, so I'm just not gonna bother. Life's too short to worry about the little things. The gorilla mode on this looks absolutely great. The details and paintwork are obviously going to be the same. His eyes do look a little small and there is no light piping. Articulation is mostly the same. However, the head is not on a ball joint. It can look up and down, and you can spin it around, but it can't tilt. The head sculpt itself for the gorilla looks really great. Like Tarzan, I am also attracted to gorilla. It's got a very mechanical look to it. The back is very plain. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but these parts on the shoulder pads can move. The arms can still spin all the way around. The gorilla fingers are individually articulated, but he can't really hold this weapon. You can kind of get it like... You can have him hold a hammer though, and it holds pretty well on these pegs, although it makes for some awkward posing. He's got some mechanical pipes there, and once again this gorilla does look more like a mech gorilla than a Transformers gorilla. Now let's move on to Rusirius. This one's got a more jaggedy and sharp look to it. Now he comes with only one weapon, which looks the same on both sides. It's got some text on there, and this one even looks more so like a mech than a Transformer than the other one. This one's got a nice red, silver, and dark gray color scheme to it, and I do like the design of this. This one still feels solid. The head sculpt is really nice. I really like how the head has a visor, and it kind of reminds me of Armada Red Alert. And the figure does have some sharp points on it, so make sure not to lick those toes. That would be a totally bad idea. Here's a look at the bottom. Here is the backside, and this one does transform into a wolf. Now this backpack thing is a weapon, and it's not removable, and I feel like it ruins the slender appearance of this figure by making it look a bit more bulky. The legs at the bottom are hollow, but that is because it's for the transformation. This one transforms into the foot of Predaking, and he does have a counterpart which turns into the other foot of Predaking. Now I do really like the detail work on this. It is lighter than Thorilla because it is a smaller figure. For articulation, his head can move up and down, and it can tilt, and it can look around. The arms can move out, and they are kind of squeaky, and they can spin around all the way. These can move. This one unfortunately doesn't have any individually articulated hands, but they can spin all the way around, and that's really about as much movement as it can do. The arms can rotate like that, and they can bend, and I'm sorry for what you're about to hear. The legs can spread apart pretty well, but this is the arch enemy of ratchet joints. These flaps can move, the flaps can also move out, the legs can go up, the knee bends, and the legs can go up like that, and they can rotate from here. This flap can also move, this toe can move, the foot's on a ball joint, and it can move back and forth and spin around. I do think this figure looks great, but it does feel like they put more time and effort into Thorilla than this guy. But unlike Thorilla, Rusirius can hold his weapon pretty well, and he does look pretty great holding it. Now for the transformation. Bring his head up, bring this down, and then there's a flap right here you want to take out. Rotate his head and shove it in there. Bring this back up, turn the head all the way around, and then this tabs in there like that. Now bring his arm down so you can open this up, and then you can flip the arm over. Close that now, then you can bring this out, and bring it up and forward, tabbing it into place. Bring this leg out, turn it around, both sides. Bring the legs down and then bend them like this. Bring the front legs down. These are supposed to be this way in robot mode, but you just flip them over here. Bring this up on the back of the foot, and then you put the blaster here and it becomes the tail. I said it becomes a tail. Just like that. And there is the wolf mode. It's a pretty simple transformation. Once again, be careful of the pointy bits on here. By the way, this is the incorrect way to have the legs. When bringing these legs down, make sure this red part sticks out at the back. But honestly, it's like your figure, so do whatever you want with it. And the wolf mode doesn't look too bad. It does look kind of weird in some areas though. I feel like this front area looks kind of off. I feel like it would be better if it was covered instead of having this gaping hole there. And it also doesn't really hold the head in place very well. But the head sculpt itself looks really good, honestly. It's got a very vicious wolf look to it. I feel like it does look kind of chibi from the side though, but it does also look kind of like a Zoid, which is pretty cool. Now the head can look up and down, and it is going to get disconnected from there. You're just going to have to live with that. And without it connecting, it can look up pretty high. It can look side to side a little bit. The front legs pretty much have the same movement as the arms. The paws are on a ball joint and can move around. The posability on the legs are pretty good. The hind legs can move back and up. There's no knee bend on the front legs. This is the same as the robot mode. The weapon that becomes his tail is on a ball joint. And the mouth can open. There's a little tab there to help you take it out. And a word of caution, when you do open his mouth, his teeth are sharp. Now both of these look great, but I still need to show the combiner mode. I don't want to linger on that subject too much, so I'm going to transform it off camera to quickly show it off. So Rusirius turns into the foot, while Thorilla becomes the crotch piece. Quick disclaimer, I did kind of half-ass this. The tail is supposed to be in there like that, and the slots on his leg are supposed to slide in place like that, while the tail is still supposed to be connected in, but I was having trouble with it, so I just chose not to do it. And the foot does also have two other modes, or if you have a foot preference, I guess. And then back here, I had a bit of difficulty trying to get the arms to tab into place, so I just kind of left it like that. Like I said, I didn't want to spend too much time on these modes. That'll be for if I get all the other figures, but I did want to show it off still because this as a foot and this as a pelvic piece, the final combiner is going to be huge. Also, I've bled twice in this video now. Now, if you want to see more of my content, check out this video right here. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my Patreon where you can support me for only $1 a month, and I'll post high-res photos of my toy photography there. I've spent too much time on this video. I'm tired. Good night.